All right, this video is about finding equivalent fractions using math, really. This is one of my favorite things to do. It's super simple. So let's say you have a fraction, right? Like, I don't know, 4 over 5. And you were asked to find an equivalent fraction, something that equals the same thing in value, right? So you can draw a picture like we've been doing, or you can simply use math. And here's how you do it. Watch how simple this is. All you need to do is multiply both the numerator and the denominator by the same number. So watch this. Don't use 1 because it's going to return the same number, right? If you do times 1 times 1, it's going to be 4 times 1 is 4, 5 times 1 is 5. Of course, 4/5 is equal to 4/5. You don't need to do that. What I'm talking about is choose any other number besides 1 or 0. You can even use negative numbers, but that doesn't really make sense. Let's say 2. As long as you multiply both the bottom and the top by the same number, you're good. So 4 times 2 is 8. 5 times 2 is 10. And 8 over 10 is the same or has the same value as 4/5. Okay, how do I know that? Well, you could literally draw a picture of it. 4/5 is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're not equal, but for today's purposes, it's going to have to do. Okay, and then I'm going to duplicate the thing. Remember, equivalent fractions represent the same area or the same amount. All right, so if I highlighted 4/5 here on the top one, 1, 2, 3, 4, it should be the same thing as 8 out of 10 pieces, right? As I have promised you. So let's take a look. We're going to estimate it, but it should be about the same. Let's see, 8. Ready? So that's half. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can't draw. So let's go 1, 2, 3. Okay, so there's the same shape. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's cut that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. That's 9, and that's 10, right? And then it should be the same exact thing, 8 out of 10. So these are all 1/10, and so on and so forth. And let's shade 8 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And look at that. It is, yeah, about the same thing, right? I mean, the drawing isn't perfect, but 4/5, 4 out of 5, is the same thing as 8 out of 10. Okay, let's try another one. Let's say you had 2/3. And you're trying to find an equivalent fraction for that. Well, simple. Use another number. Times 3 times 3. 2 times 3 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. 2/3 is the same as 6/9. We could draw it out again to prove, but I think you get the idea. And you can also keep going. You can multiply this by another 2 if you wanted to. 6 times 2 is 12. 9 times 2 is 18. 2/3, 6/9, and 12/18 are all the same fraction. Well, not the same fraction, but they are all equal in value, and they are all equivalent fractions. Now, the question is, can you go back down from a larger fraction? So watch this one, 12/18, right? Watch this. 12 over 18. If I divide by going down, right, by some same factor, 12 divided by 2, 18 divided by 2. Let's see what happens. Do I get back to 2/3? 12 divided by 2 is what? 6. 18 divided by 2 is 9. We just did that, obviously. Keep going. Remember, it has to be the same number that divides or multiplies both. So what number can divide both 6 and 9? It's not 2, because 9 doesn't divide by 2, but 3 does. 6 divided by 3, 9 divided by 3. 6 divided by 3 is, what, 2? 9 divided by 3 is 3. Look at that. 12/18, 12/18, 6/9, 6/9, 2/3, 2/3. All of them are equivalent fractions because they eventually return to this reduced, is what we call it, reduced fraction. And you could keep going up into eternity, but you can only go down so far. And 2/3 can't go any lower because nothing divides both of them. 2 divided by 2 would give you 1. 3 divided by 2 would not be a pretty number. It'd be some decimal, which doesn't work in fractions. And you can't really divide it by 1 because, again, 2 divided by 1 would be 2. 3 divided by 1 would be 3. So you'd get right down to 2/3. Let's try one more just for the sake of doing it. Let's go 4/3. Find two equivalent fractions. Well, I can multiply by 4. 4 times 4 would give me 16. 3 times 4 would give me 12. Then I can multiply by 2 again. 16 times 2 would be 32. 12 times 2 would be 24. So the equivalent fractions to 4/3 would be 16 and 12, 32 over 24. There you go.